You care about eating fresh food, don't you? As consumers, we are becoming more choosy about product lifespan. Concepts such as shelf life, expiration date, consume preferably before are becoming more familiar. But what about coffee? To be considered fresh, coffee must keep most of its essential characteristics like its aroma, density, texture. It is not so fresh when it begins to lose parts of its aromas. Old coffee has off flavors such as papery and potato notes. The lifespan depends on what coffee we are referring to. It is a raw bean or a cup of coffee, a coffee pod or a blend of coffee powder. These differences depend on water content, environmental conditions and storage method, and packaging. Here are some guidelines to make sure you drink fresh coffee. Green coffee beans stay fresh for a long time. After all the essential post-harvest processes, the coffee beans are dried and put into jute bags ready to be stored or shipped. In this stage, the coffee beans contain 11–12% of humidity. The conditions allow it to stay vital and rich in aromatic substances, but not to be subject to microbiotic spoilage or germination. It is estimated that green coffee can survive up to 12–18 months if stored in proper conditions. After this time, the coffee starts to lose its aromatic values and starts to develop off flavors such as paper-like notes. During roasting, coffee is exposed to heat. It therefore loses a large amount of water. This is why roasted coffee beans can survive up to 12 months, when in ideal conditions. Technologies come in handy as many manufacturers use different techniques to keep it fresh. Some suppliers use nitrogen gas to keep it as fresh as possible. Many use aluminium or multi-layer packaging, which reduces contact with oxygen and light. Some coffee lovers started to frost their beans to conserve them for a longer shot of time. The lifespan is reduced when coffee is ground, as the real enemies of coffee freshness are oxygen and light. When coffee is ground and not packed or consumed right away, it is estimated to lose up to 50% of its original fragrances and aromas within a few minutes. This is why coffee should be ground right before preparation, either in a bar or at home. And finally, when the coffee is already in a liquid form, it needs to be consumed as fast as possible. Hot coffee drunk cold is a strategy made by cup tasters to better understand the balance of the product or the presence of flavors. Generally speaking, we recommend consuming coffee as soon as possible, potentially within the month from roasting date. Anyway, drinking old coffee is not bad for your health, but it certainly tastes better when fresh. Being aware of when that coffee has been harvested, roasted, and ground will make a huge difference in your sensory experience, and it makes us more responsible consumers. So if you can, buy coffee in beans that will last for weeks and grind them yourself. Thank you for being part of our coffee community. Join our exclusive initiatives through our newsletter. Let's create positive change together.